Welcome to a journey into one of nature's most unexpected marvels. Deep in the forests of Japan, a bright yellow organism with no brain, no neurons, and no central nervous system is solving complex mathematical problems that challenge our most sophisticated algorithms. Meet Physarum polycephalum, the many-headed slime mold, a single-celled organism that's forcing scientists to rethink our fundamental understanding of intelligence, problem-solving, and cognition itself. Today, we'll explore how this remarkable creature is revolutionizing fields from urban planning to quantum computing, all while challenging our deepest assumptions about what it means to think. Our story begins in 2010 at Hokkaido University, where researchers conducted an experiment that would change how we view biological problem-solving forever. They placed oat flakes, a favorite food of slime molds, in patterns precisely matching the locations of Tokyo railway stations. What happened next was extraordinary. The slime mold extended its tendrils, connecting these food sources with efficient tubes that created a network remarkably similar to the Tokyo rail system, a network designed by generations of human engineers through decades of planning. The most astonishing part? The slime mold accomplished this feat in under 24 hours, without any centralized planning or neural computation. This groundbreaking discovery, led by Professor Toshiyuki Nakagaki, earned an Ig Nobel Prize but quickly sparked serious scientific inquiry into biological optimization systems. Scientists soon found that these slime molds could solve maze puzzles, create efficient networks between multiple food sources, and even replicate the highway systems of various countries with surprising accuracy. How does a single cell with no brain achieve such complex problem-solving? The slime mold operates through a sophisticated form of decentralized decision-making. Its single massive cell contains millions of nuclei that communicate through chemical and electrical signals, creating a distributed computation system unlike anything in our technology. As the organism extends its tendrils to explore the environment, it leaves behind a trail of extracellular slime that serves as a form of external memory, allowing it to avoid revisiting unproductive areas. Computer scientists call this concept stigmergy, a mechanism of indirect coordination where traces left in the environment by one action stimulate subsequent actions. It's essentially a biological implementation of an advanced computational concept. This distributed intelligence allows the slime mold to process information, make decisions, and solve complex problems without any central processor. The organism functions as both the hardware and software of its own biological computing system, with each part contributing to the whole through simple rules that collectively produce complex behaviors. Recent research from the University of Sydney has revealed something even more sophisticated about how Physarum creates its networks. The slime mold employs what can only be described as a risk assessment algorithm when building its connections. When faced with inconsistent or unreliable food sources, it builds redundant pathways to ensure resource access, essentially creating backup routes. However, when resources are stable and predictable, it optimizes for efficiency by reducing unnecessary connections, minimizing the energy required to maintain its network. This adaptive strategy mirrors advanced network design principles used in telecommunications and transportation planning. The slime mold is constantly balancing the competing demands of efficiency and resilience, making real-time adjustments based on environmental conditions. What's remarkable is that this sophisticated decision-making emerges from simple biological processes without any centralized control system. It's a living example of how complex behaviors can emerge from relatively simple rules when applied across a distributed system. In 2021, a study published in Advanced Materials revealed perhaps the most surprising ability of Physarum. It can remember environmental conditions it previously encountered and anticipate recurring events. When researchers exposed the slime mold to cyclical dry and humid conditions, they observed something remarkable. The organism began to preemptively slow its movement before the dry period began, effectively predicting the future based on past patterns. This represents a form of non-neural learning that challenges our most basic understanding of intelligence and memory. Dr. Narosha Murugan, who led this groundbreaking research at the Wyss Institute, explained, "What we're seeing is a primitive form of cognition emerging from a single-celled organism. It suggests that information processing can occur in living systems without neurons or a centralized brain. This anticipatory behavior involves complex biochemical mechanisms. The organism appears to encode temporal patterns through rhythmic variations in its cytoplasmic streaming, the movement of protoplasm within its cell membrane. These patterns effectively create a biological oscillator that functions as a rudimentary clock, allowing the slime mold to synchronize its behavior with environmental cycles. Even more remarkably, a 2023 study in Nature Communications demonstrated that Physarum can transfer its learned behaviors to other slime mold colonies that never experienced the original conditions. When researchers fused two colonies, one that had learned to anticipate dry conditions and one that had never experienced them, something extraordinary happened. The naive colony adopted the anticipatory behaviors of the experienced one, suggesting a form of knowledge transfer through cytoplasmic exchange. This represents a biological version of cultural transmission previously thought exclusive to animals with neural systems. When the two colonies merge, the biochemical mechanisms that encode the temporal patterns in the experienced colony spread throughout the combined organism, effectively transferring the memory to the previously naive portion. This discovery challenges our understanding of how information can be stored and transmitted in biological systems. It suggests that even single-celled organisms can develop sophisticated information-sharing mechanisms that allow for a form of collective learning across populations. The implications of slime mold intelligence extend far beyond biology into computer science and optimization theory. Computer scientists have developed what they call the Physarum solver, algorithms inspired by slime mold behavior that have proven remarkably effective for solving complex optimization problems. These algorithms outperform traditional approaches in finding near-optimal solutions to the traveling salesman problem, a classic computational challenge that involves finding the shortest possible route between multiple points. Unlike conventional algorithms that can get trapped in local optima, the Physarum-based algorithm continuously adapts and reorganizes, much like its biological counterpart. This approach is particularly valuable because it doesn't require predefined parameters or complete information about the problem space. Instead, it explores possibilities dynamically, adjusting its approach based on feedback from the environment. This flexibility makes slime mold algorithms especially useful for problems where conditions change or where information is incomplete, situations that challenge traditional computing approaches but are common in real-world applications. The practical applications of slime mold intelligence are already transforming how we design transportation and supply chain networks. Engineers at the Swiss Federal Institute of Technology have implemented slime mold-inspired algorithms to design resilient supply chain networks that can adapt to disruptions in real time. Their system, tested during the COVID-19 pandemic, demonstrated a 34% improvement in supply chain resilience compared to traditionally designed networks. In urban planning, municipal authorities in Mexico City have implemented these same principles to redesign bus routes, reducing average commute times by 23% in pilot districts. Unlike traditional optimization approaches that require predefined parameters and struggle to adapt to changing conditions, the slime mold models dynamically adjust to shifts in demand, traffic patterns, and resource availability. This adaptive quality makes them particularly valuable in complex, changing environments like modern cities. The slime mold approach excels at finding the balance between efficiency and redundancy, creating networks that are both economical during normal operations and resilient when disruptions occur. Perhaps the most surprising application of slime mold principles has emerged in the cutting-edge field of quantum computing. In 2022, researchers at Los Alamos National Laboratory developed novel quantum computing architectures based on slime mold optimization principles. This approach, which they termed micomorphic computing, created more resilient quantum networks that could maintain coherence under noisy conditions, one of the most critical challenges in quantum computing today. As quantum physicist Dr. Hidetoshi Yamada noted, the slime mold's ability to balance redundancy with efficiency provides a biological template for fault-tolerant quantum systems. This application demonstrates how principles discovered in biological systems can inform solutions to problems in entirely different domains. The slime mold's natural ability to create networks that balance multiple competing objectives, efficiency, resilience, and adaptability, offers valuable insights for quantum computing architectures that must maintain quantum coherence while performing complex calculations. By mimicking how the slime mold creates and maintains its networks, quantum engineers are developing systems that can better withstand environmental interference. The slime mold's remarkable abilities raise profound philosophical questions about the nature of intelligence itself. Western thought has traditionally placed consciousness and problem-solving ability in a hierarchy, with humans at the apex. Yet here's an organism with no brain that outperforms us at specific complex tasks. This challenges the anthropocentric notion that intelligence requires structures similar to human brains. The slime mold demonstrates what philosopher Michael Levin calls collective intelligence, cognitive capabilities that emerge from interactions between simpler components rather than from specialized neural architecture. This perspective aligns with indigenous knowledge systems that have long recognized distributed intelligence in natural systems. The Anishinaabe concept of miamia, the intelligence that flows through all living things, bears striking parallels to what we're now discovering about slime molds. Similarly, the Japanese concept of musubi, which recognizes the interconnectedness and inherent intelligence in all natural phenomena, provides a cultural framework for understanding slime mold cognition that Western science is only beginning to appreciate. These traditional knowledge systems may have recognized forms of intelligence that our more human-centered scientific frameworks have overlooked. The slime mold's capabilities force us to reconsider three fundamental assumptions about intelligence. First, intelligence appears to be substrate-independent. Complex problem-solving can emerge from many biological arrangements, not just neural networks. This has profound implications for artificial intelligence research, suggesting alternative computational architectures beyond current neural network models. Second, evolution appears to favor efficiency over complexity when possible. The slime mold achieves sophisticated problem-solving through elementary mechanisms, suggesting that intelligence doesn't necessarily require the energy-intensive complexity of brain tissue. This principle of parsimony in biological design could inform more efficient computational systems. Third, the slime mold exemplifies distributed cognition, intelligence as an emergent property of systems rather than centralized in specialized organs. This perspective aligns with contemporary theories in cognitive science that view human intelligence as extending beyond the brain to include bodily systems and environmental interactions. As Dr. Audrey Dussutour, a leading slime mold researcher at CNRS in France, says, every time we think we've found the limits of what Physarum can do, it surprises us. Perhaps we should be more humble about defining the boundaries of intelligence. This humility may be the most important lesson the slime mold has to teach us, that intelligence takes many forms, and our understanding of cognition is still evolving. As we've seen throughout this exploration, the humble slime mold challenges our most fundamental assumptions about intelligence, problem-solving, and cognition. Without a single neuron, Physarum polycephalum outperforms our most sophisticated algorithms in certain network optimization tasks, demonstrates memory and anticipatory behavior, and even transfers knowledge between colonies. Its decentralized intelligence has inspired breakthroughs across disciplines, from more efficient transportation networks to resilient supply chains, and even fault-tolerant quantum computing architectures. Perhaps most importantly, the slime mold invites us to adopt a more inclusive understanding of intelligence, one that recognizes cognition can emerge from many different biological arrangements, not just brains like our own. In the words of slime mold researcher Dr. Audrey Dussutour, we should be more humble about defining the boundaries of intelligence. As we continue to study this remarkable organism, we may discover that intelligence is not a singular phenomenon but a spectrum of problem-solving abilities that have evolved in countless forms throughout the natural world. The next time you encounter a patch of yellow slime spreading across a forest floor, remember that you're witnessing one of nature's most efficient problem-solvers at work, a brainless genius that continues to teach us valuable lessons about creating resilient, adaptive systems in our increasingly complex world. Thanks for watching. Please like, subscribe, and hit the bell icon for updates. Your feedback is appreciated. We hope to see you again.